Hey guys, welcome back to We're All Fucked. I'm non-MAGA Mike, and I've started doing this just as a form of therapy at a vent to get stuff out, because I am a Democrat, and I live in the Bible Belt now, and having trouble finding people that I can relate to on this level, on this stuff, on this information. So this is helpful. However, I've recently decided that I want to get into this fight. We need to get into this fight. We need to stay engaged. We need to do everything we can do. I kind of formatted my thoughts a little bit, so hopefully we can stay on point and keep it as brief as possible. Because this is very important, folks. This is big picture, all right? Now I want to talk to you guys about big picture, and I think I've streamlined it enough, pared it down enough that I can get it out in a few minutes, hopefully. So please listen carefully. I apologize. Donald Trump is putting people in place. He's putting his people in place, his yes men in place, not people that he thinks will be good for him. No, people that he knows will carry his water and execute his orders without question. I mean, last night was a pretty clear indication when they shut off Medicaid all of a sudden, and access to the portals, etc., across the country. Just boom. No warning. A memo went out, and then it happened. And the memo wasn't sent to anybody, but memo was posted, and then it happened. So that affected, even though it was just one day, and that, I believe he did that to check the temperature of the country, how they're going to react, because he is going to do away with your safety nets. It's a coming. Please prepare yourself. But if you can do this, get out there and talk to people. You know, if you're in an area where you can go talk to people about this stuff, do that, please. And again, all this information that I relay, please look it up. It'll mean so much more if you look it up. Some sort of independent media. Yes, if you're a Magatron, you probably don't think there's anything as independent in the middle, intermediate, mainstream media anymore. And frankly, mainstream media is a mess. Let me try to stay on track here. He's putting his people in place. He fired 17 inspectors general across the country. Those are folks that are supposed to be committal to one party or the other, and they're literally supposed to be watchdogs for all the programs and policies that we have in place, so corruption doesn't run wild. All right, that's what these people do. There's 74 of them. He fired 17 of them so far without warning, and I believe he picked that number in that range to check the temperature of the country, how they react to this, because that's an illegal move. He can't do that. He can't just do that. But he did it. Sent them packing, 17 of them. Pete Hegseth, the drunken predator weekend host at Fox News, is the Secretary of Defense, in charge of the Pentagon, in charge of the world's largest army, the world's most dangerous and potent army. Service, all armed services, just most potent. And he's in charge of it. And I'm going to get to the real reason why that's important. And it won't be because you smell the liquor coming out of his pores the next morning. It won't be because you smell it on his breath. It's something else. I'm going to get to it. Pam Bondi, Attorney General. Attorney General, which is really supposed to be the right-hand man for the president that keeps him out of trouble. Yes, they oversee the Department of Justice, but that's always kind of been the role, except for when Clinton was obviously picked. I hate who he picked, but she wasn't in his corner. But it went fine. It went fine. She is most known for the scandal around getting the case dismissed in Florida for Trump University and all the fraud that he committed there. Yeah, millions of dollars. People just lost millions of dollars on that, and nobody paid a price. No, there's no accountability, thanks to Pam Bondi, in part, at least. Also, Pam was part of the America First policy program. So those are folks that helped to lay the groundwork for Project 2025 over the last 4 years. They literally do have a list a mile long of volunteers and people that will be compensated that are willing to go do anything Trump says. I don't get it. I think some people just want to blow things up. I think that there's a lot of that out there. I think there's also people just don't care. They weren't involved in our democratic process before. They weren't involved in politics before, but all of a sudden now they have a cause to live for. They have something fun in their life, something different. So there you go with that. Cash App Patel for Director of FBI, Director of the Federal Bureau of Investigations. His biggest claim to fame is he was the liaison for classified documents that Donald Trump got a hold of and stole from the White House and stored in the bathroom at his little Roach Motel down in Florida. So he's going to be director of FBI. So far, we have Donald Trump basically, by extension, in charge of the Secretary of Defense. So he's in charge of the Pentagon and all the armed services. This is Trump I'm talking about. He's already set the groundwork by firing. He also fired 12 Department of Justice employees that were lawyers that were involved in the investigation of Donald Trump when he was in office. So he just went and fired them summarily. So he's in charge of that. He's got the AG in his pocket, so he won't be able to do anything wrong. Cash App, so he's got the in-country federal police at his disposal now, ready to carry his water because of Cash App. RFK Jr. as Health and Human Services Secretary. Now that's got to be hilarious. And I'll tell you why. Because it's Trump's team setting RFK Jr. up as the scapegoat for all the fucking reductions and cancellations they're going to make in your safety nets. That's really the only reason they want RFK there. Just somebody with some form of credibility, a well-known name that can take the fucking heat for all of the shit he's about to do. That's the real reason he's there. But I mean, you can't deny the fact that he's a vaccine denier and he's a conspiracy theorist and just a dangerous man. God bless him for beating and continuing to beat every day his heroin addiction. God bless him for that. That's great. But do we really want this guy as Health and Human Services? Again, just remember my words. He's going to be used as a scapegoat as they start canceling some of these fucking programs. Kristi Noem for Homeland Security. She's most known for being a hardline conservative on immigration and border crossing, and she's in Trump's camp with that wholeheartedly, whole hog. So we got that going for us. Tulsi Gabbard, DNI, DNI, Director of National Intelligence. Tulsi Gabbard, with all her connections to Russia, you'd have to be a fool to not think she was an operative, wittingly or otherwise. She's a fucking operative. Jesus Christ, guys. Russell Vogt, OMB, in charge of all the budgets? Are you fucking shitting me? Russell Vogt was the principal author of Project 2025. As director of OMB, he will carry Trump's water anywhere Trump wants it, and he'll also help with the direction and implementation of Project 2025. That's what he's going to do. You probably never heard that name before. You need to look it up. Russell Vogt, Vought, for OMB. Principal architect of that goddamn Project 2025, which we're working on, by the way, here, but I'll finish. And then if you look at the rest of Trump's cabinet, even though they don't seem to be in very key positions to change things in our country the way Trump wants them changed, they are his sympathizers and apologists and friends and fucking family and billionaires. 12 billionaires he has appointed, 26 millionaires he has appointed. So yeah, it looks like an oligarchy, but make no mistake, Donald Trump is going to do what Donald Trump wants to do at the end of the day. Now that he's released all those criminals, 1,500 fucking criminals that attacked the Capitol and tried to attack, Nancy Pelosi and hang Mike Pence and killed that woman, that MAGA Trump woman that was she broke a window trying to climb in. And I mean, if you watch the videos and if you listen to the cries for help from these cops over the radio, it's fucking heartbreaking. How you guys can how you guys can be for that, the release of these criminals, is like, it blows my mind. I don't get it. Because not only does he immediately have those immediate folks now in his camp as his own private militia for things he needs outside the line of the law, he also sent a signal to other militia that weren't involved necessarily there. They will now join too, because that's a fucking dog whistle. They're all gonna, join in on that fun when it comes. So now he's got an army outside the line of laws. Oh my God. So, to recap, Hegseth, so he's got the Pentagon in his back pocket. The Attorney General will help him through the law, navigate the law. Cash App will do whatever he wants as the FBI director. So he's got the FBI in his pocket, under his control. And HHS security was key for Trump, not so much for Bobby. And people might say, whatever, But I tell you what, they're going to scapegoat him for, and I'm not an RFK Jr. fan, but they're going to scapegoat him for what's about to come with the all the programs he's about to cancel. It's about to come. Kristi Noem, so he's got Homeland Security now as well. Tulsi Gabbard, he's got the entire intelligence community under his thumb now. Shame on you guys. Russell Vogt is the one that's going to implement and direct Project 2025 moving forward once it gets into OMB. And like I said, he's going to have plenty of help too from those other cabinet members I did not name. And I may find out some of those were in key positions too. We may find out some of those were in key positions too that I didn't realize when I went through the homework. When he does a press conference, and he does them more often than anybody's ever done them, he does throw all kinds of distraction stuff in it. Doesn't mean he's not going to do those distractive things, but he throws them in there to throw you off the scent of what he's really doing, which is the big stuff. All right? So don't get lost in the sauce with that, all the minutia of all the eating the cats and dogs and all the other lies that he tells, all the other numbers he pulls out of his ass and this and that and the other. They're all lies, dude. I mean, there has never been such a prolific liar on the planet ever before. This guy is a fucking train wreck. He's a Trumpster fire. So, yeah, he's breaking laws already. In the 8 days he's attacked. In the 8 days he's been there, he's attacked the Constitution a few times: the 14th Amendment, Schedule F, and the birthright citizenship. Those are all outlined in the Constitution with no gray area. And he's done it anyway. Also, firing those folks from the inspectors general, firing those folks was against the law too. That's in the Constitution. He's supposed to give a 30-day notice and reasons why. He can't just summarily fire people on the spot. This isn't his kingdom yet. In the 8 days, like I said, he's already attacked the Constitution. So you know he's not a Constitution guy. And you know he's already picking away at it, trying to check the temperature of the country as he does so. And we're just letting him do it. Mainstream media is the biggest culprit right now. Because it's either, and I think it's actually all of these components, where they're using access journalism, where they're playing nice with Trump and Trump's press secretary, who's like 16 years old, playing nice with her, and not talking over each other, not yelling and screaming, and asking softball questions. That's access journalism, so they can have access to the president, so their networks can air interviews with the president, and etc., and be in the president's favor. And there's also a component where they're afraid to lose their position, their assignment as press secretary, as part of the media corps, that the press corps that follows Trump around all the time. They don't want to lose that assignment, or they just don't want to lose their job, or they're afraid of the actual network that they work for getting canceled. Certainly they're afraid of them getting sued. ABC's already set a precedence. Thanks, man. Thanks, ABC. So because of that, they're afraid of being sued. But I think even more importantly, they're afraid of being canceled. They're afraid of the actual power this guy is trying to wield, and people seem to be letting him. What the fuck is wrong with you? All of this stuff is put into place to, at some point, either through tariff wars that have escalated by then, or a false flag operation where the rest of the country thinks that we were attacked somewhere on the planet. U.S. was attacked somewhere on the planet. Now we are in a war. That war serves a bunch of purposes, all right? One of them, that war, all that money for everything, all the goddamn machinery, every government contract is going to fall under Elon Musk for that war. So it serves that purpose. It gives Trump the opportunity, and this will happen, he'll team up with Putin and Kim, and they will have a world war to take over the world and then divide it up. Yeah, America's expanding. I mean, low-hanging fruit, right? He's trying to take Greenland, Canada, Panama, the Gulf of, I'm not saying America, the Gulf of Mexico, which Britain's already chimed in saying they're not changing that. They got a map and a globe already. That's Gulf of Mexico. It's always going to be Gulf of Mexico, you fucking retard. Sorry. You know, I really don't think he's dumb. I actually think he's smart. I actually think he's super smart. And I'll tell you why. I think the shit he says is completely intentional. I think he misspeaks almost sometimes. Not all the time, actually. The garbled words and the forgetting the names and stuff, that's kind of natural, really. But honestly, the stuff he's saying, like the cats and dogs, and if you listen to the press conference long enough, he'll tell you what he's about to do, but it will be surrounded by garbage leading up to it that made you go, wow, he's doing this, that, and the other. Then he mentions it, and garbage right after it. And if you watch the cadence of his speech, you'll fucking see he's doing that, guys. Pay attention. He's doing that to start a world war, which will also serve the purpose of the American people rallying around their wartime president and, supporting him, even if it takes longer than 4 years. And Trump's end game is the succession that he wants. You're going to find when he passes, there's a natural transition to Vance. Maybe we're still in a war. Maybe we're in a kingdom by then. Maybe, completely authoritarian, and it just hands off to Vance. And then after a number of years, there's Vance as the number one and Junior as the number two. Vance will move on to another position, and Junior will take over number one. And when Junior passes, it'll be Barron, and then Barron as he sees fit within his family. This is Trump's ultimate dream. This is his ultimate goal. This is his end game. And if you don't believe me, do a little search on history, man. Do a little research on World War II times. All the events that happened around World War II, whether it's, certainly check what happened on the German side, please. But you should also know what happened, what we were doing before, up and until and through World War II. The fact that so many people don't is absolutely bananas. There was a study done, and most people think that Germany was our ally in World War II, and we fought Russia in World War II. Another red flag that should go off for everybody is knucklehead Elon Musk with the Sieg Heil salutes, and he's supporting and financing the ADF over in Germany, which is the right-wing, I think it's ADF, but the right-wing, the extremist Nazi group, what is currently the Nazi group in Nazi party in Germany. He is supporting them. He conferenced in on a rally and spoke at the rally. He's donated money. That's not the only one, by the way. The only Nazi group he's affiliated with. He's affiliated with plenty over here. Do some homework. Find out about Elon Musk. And my greatest fear in all of this, by the way, is that there are already too many racist, white supremacists, Nazi folks, Nazi sympathizers that kind of want this agenda. I'm afraid that there's so many more than I think. That's what I'm afraid of. That, and the billionaires are going to support Trump because they keep getting their tax breaks. So I don't get it. They got all the money in the world. Now they want mine too? What the fuck, guys? What are you going to say to Jesus when you get up there? I know you're never getting up there, but theoretically, if you ever got up there, what are you going to say to Jesus? I clothed people, I fed people, I helped people, I housed people? No! I took their fucking money when they were vulnerable. So the territory. He's already indicated he's going to grab that low-hanging fruit. I really think there's more distraction than the big stuff, because I think he's going to do this with little effort. Canada, I don't know about. I know they don't want to be part of us. They want to be a 51st state. He's already talking about Greenland as a state, too, taking that over, but not just as a territory, as a state. We need to beware. We need to Be careful. We need to be alert. This is dangerous, folks. This is not playtime. So if you're not one of the 1% beautiful people, billionaires, and you're not a white supremacist Nazi in that whole realm of the world, and you're a Trump supporter, you're getting bamboozled, because he's coming for your money. He's coming for my money. He does not care about you, and he does not care about me. What do you need to see to prove that out? This guy is a convicted felon. That's my worry, is he's gotten so far already. Being an absolute monster out in the open. Well, I mean, you guys on the right side, you dress it up a lot. I mean, I was watching some local Fox News and some Fox News Network, and I tell you what, you guys dress it up and shine it, make it look pretty, and like if he looks like an asshole coming apart at the seams at a press conference, you just put a picture up of him up there, an old picture of him that looks presidential almost, and then you hear snippets that favor him in the background from that press conference. I mean, it's disgusting. What are we doing? You guys don't see this coming? What do you think his endgame is? I know you're all in on this because for one reason or another, either you're too dumb, or you're in on it because you're a white supremacist type of person, or you're a billionaire. That's it. If you're not in those two groups, you're in it because you're dumb. You need to get your head out of your ass. What do you think the end game is here? The white supremacists don't know they know what the end game is. They go with it. The billionaires, same deal. What do you think his end game is? Ask yourself that. Jesus Christ! What do you think is going on here? Oh my God, I wasn't going to do that. Sorry. But seriously, dude, it's frustrating. I don't get it. I don't get it. You need to explain it to me like I'm a 4-year-old. Nice and slow, little words. It needs to make sense, though. It can't just be about whatism. What aboutism? What aboutism? What aboutism? Two wrongs don't make a right, you know. Just because you're breaking the law and you want to claim that so-and-so broke the law also, doesn't make your broken law right. You still can't break the law. As a president, you're supposed to be an example. Folks, we need to get it together. We need to get into this fight. We need to get serious about it. I'm not sure at this point what else I can do, but I'm looking to find out what else I can do to help this cause, because in my opinion, the Democrats don't have it together like the Republicans do as far as organization goes. They were out there in the millions on the 4 years that Biden was in office, spreading lies, telling lies, getting ready for Project 2025, which Russell Vogt wrote and put himself in the OMB so he can manage the budgets. I mean, are you kidding me? He's going to be the one directing 2025. And if it doesn't go by way of war, Trump's going to put it there. Because Trump's going to do what Trump's going to do at the end of the day. He'll use Project 2025 as a blueprint to get where he needs to be. And then it's wartime, guys. What do you think this is all about? Why do you think Trump's lying so much? You've got to follow up on his lies. I know there's a shitload of them, and the wild ones the really ones you want to check into, like they're eating the cats and dogs. You really want to look into that, but that's a distraction one. That's to take you off looking at the details within something else that he mentioned at that press conference. That's the point of that. So don't get sucked in by the distraction. The distraction may happen. Greenland and Canada and Gulf of that's not gonna happen. Panama, that all might, could happen, whatever. But that's not what his end game is. He wants more. And it feels like we're just giving it to them. I mean, shame on the mainstream media. I get it, quite honestly, because they're drowning right now. Independent media is fucking beating the piss out of them. Beating the piss out of them. So they're afraid of losing their livelihood. The networks are afraid of going out of business. I get that. Now Trump's in office, everybody had to fall in line. Everybody, mainstream media weren't necessarily giving him softball questions prior to this. They were asking truthful questions. Now, in my opinion, and I raged about this sometimes, they weren't holding his feet to the fire. When they asked a question, he would pivot from it. An important question in an interview, he would pivot from it. If I was the interviewer, I would hold his feet to the fire and keep him right there until you get the answer you're looking for, or he walks off the set. But now that he's in power, not working for the people, but in power, he's everybody's under this threat. Everybody's under this threat of losing their livelihood, if not more. But what's happened already? The stuff with the cancellation of the Medicaid overnight for the night, I guess, and for the day today. The firing of those folks. That's all stuff to take the temperature of the government. I mean, the country rather, to see how they react to these smaller moves. It's about to get real. That was nothing. That was nothing. Elon Musk in charge of government efficiency? Tell me that's not a key role. Guys, how do you not see it? Anyway, that's all for now. That's plenty for now. I didn't mean to go this long, but yikes, guys. That's the big picture. Thank you. Talk soon.